Hey everyone, I'm here with Natalie Saunders. Hey Natalie.
Hey, how are you?
Great, how are you?
I am good. It's Friday, so I'm feeling good.
Good, good. So Natalie is with Weichert Realtors out of Knoxville, Tennessee. And Natalie, you're going to tell us today the magic pill to getting leads. I feel
I
like we need a drum roll.
I know we probably do, even
Yeah.
though magic pill makes it sound so it's kind of like a diet pill almost. It's
Oh
like
no, we don't need that.
no, definitely not. But yes, this is what I've been using for a while now, and I feel it's really effective. So, and it's actually not that hard either.
Great, tell us.
Okay, so basically, the easiest way to get leads is actually one of the first pieces of advice I learned when I went into real estate.
Mhm.
And it's just to join groups. Now, groups can be on Facebook, they can be in your church, they can be somehow in the community, like I have a neighborhood association I'm a part of, anything like that. So don't expect to find them all on Facebook, but
Yeah.
find your group and your people, and all you have to do is hang out with them.
What?
That's it. That's it. You find your group and your people and you hang out with them. That's
So
literally
what does that like lead to though? Like let's expand it a little bit. What do you, you're
so,
not just a wallflower there. You're
no, no,
okay.
not at all. Luckily, these groups, the ones that I'm a part of, so like there's other options you could do, like for here in Knoxville. I'm not a parent yet, but you could do like Moms of Knoxville, things like that. And those groups will always, or for the most part, pretty regularly try to schedule events where people can get together.
Okay.
So they'll schedule happy hours, they'll schedule like mommy's play dates, they'll schedule movie days.
Mhm.
There's trivia nights on some of the things. I'm in a book club with one of the groups I'm in, and find stuff you're genuinely interested in, like
Right.
for
That makes
fun.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't want to fake it or anything. So I pick things I'm genuinely interested in and meet up with these people and make friends. And it's actually not very difficult to get into the conversation. So I think what scares people is it's like, I don't want to be salesy, which is
Right.
pretty, it just turns people off. But when you're gathering with people that you don't know, all
Mhm.
you really do is go through, and everybody naturally does it, like, oh, do you have kids? Oh,
Right.
what do you do for a living? Oh,
Right.
where did you go to high school? It's always the same kind of questions to drum up.
Yeah.
And then once you say that you're a realtor, people are automatically attracted to real estate. It's really not a hard sell to talk about. So the fact that
Most
you're
people are
talking
like obsessed with real estate.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of it too. And they're especially in this market. I don't know about you guys up there, but people are acting bananas down here trying to
Yeah.
get houses.
That's how it is.
So
Yeah.
it's been pretty ridiculous. So I have obviously a plethora of stories in my back pocket of how the houses are selling, and all the multiple offer situations, things like that. So they love chatting about that, and that usually gets them talking. In
Yep.
some cases, I get people who say, "Oh, my mom just listed her house." I'm like, "Dang, I wish I had
I
talked
know.
to months ago." Like that will happen, but I also have to stop myself because I remember that happened like last week, I think, when I was meeting with friends. And I was like, oh, I wish I knew you like 6 months ago. But then I went, you know what? Now she does know me in
Right.
person. And now going forward, if she has a real estate question, she's probably going to pick someone she knows. I think.
So I want to like just, it's really not about joining. It is about joining the groups, but really it sounds like it's about getting into conversations with people in like an authentic way.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Like
People
that's
are
it.
going to pick people that they know. So,
Mhm.
and authentically know.
And that they
Um,
like.
And some people do. I mean, some people do go online and click the Zillow button and get connected that way. Obviously, it's not everybody is going to be this way.
Yeah.
But if you can get in front of them ahead of time before they're on there clicking the Zillow button,
Mhm.
by that point they're going to text you and be like, "Hey, did you see 123 Main Street? I mean, I could move in there." And then that would start the
Right.
conversation, especially if you have each other's numbers, your friends on Facebook, things like that. So it really is like a natural group kind of thing, but it can be created anywhere, with your past jobs if you want to hang out with those people again, with your church if you're active in your church, just hang out with people and talking. And it's a little easier, I think, through the groups that I use
Yeah.
because it's easier to start talking. It's not so nerve
You
wracking.
already have like you already have something you're both interested in, so it can kind of start there. And like you said, it's always natural when you don't know somebody to get kind of like a baseline of information,
Yeah,
like are you married? Do you have kids? What do you do? Where do you live? Like that's it. I mean, it's
yeah.
always the same questions over and over again.
And if somebody doesn't bring it up at the table, it's very easy for me to look at the person next to me and be like, hey, what do you do
You
for a living?
do.
And then naturally that's just like part of the human. I don't know if you've read Seven Levels of Communication or not.
Great book.
Yeah, I love that book. I love him. But naturally humans want to, if you're given something, you want to give something back.
Yeah.
So if you ask somebody, hey, what are your goals for 2020? They're going to answer you and then they're going to go, oh, what are your goals for 2020? Like, it's just, I better ask you too, like it's
Right,
so easy.
exactly.
It's quite simple.
So do you, when you're joining these groups or you're going to an event, do you like set certain goals for yourself for that event, or how do you do it?
So honestly, no, I really don't make it that specific. I genuinely just want to meet people and get in front of them and have them know a person who's a realtor in hopes
So
that
then really it sounds like you are going in there with the intention of talking to people. Like that's the goal.
right,
It's like
right,
talking, and maybe it might not be a certain amount of people, but
yeah.
you seem more of an more of an extrovert, are you?
I go both way. I'm one of those that's like I can be very holed up in the house or I can want to do stuff like this.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't set like number goals, but you're right. I do go in there with the intention of making sure I say I'm a realtor. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's
So
a,
I think it would be good, like for people that are more extroverts, having that intention. And then if you are more introverted, like actually putting a number to it. Like I'm going to talk to 2 people or 5 people or whatever. Just
yeah.
talk. Like that's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Especially like a big gathering, that could be hard.
That could be
Like
hard. Yeah.
church or whatever, that would be tough. Like an after church luncheon, that's a big room of people.
Yeah.
But I would start small. Like obviously, like an after church luncheon, you're going to sit at a table with people and eat. Start small and sit. Walking up to strangers is really intimidating and totally out of my comfort zone. So I can
I
understand.
love strangers so much.
I would have so much trouble, I think, just walking up and being like, "What do you do?" So
Well,
that's why I like these.
walking up to strangers, I mean, it's fun to figure out like the commonalities because like I mean, I went and traveled around like the whole world, and what I realized is that we are actually more alike than we are different. Like no matter what. You know what I mean?
That's probably true.
No, it is true. I know it's true. Like these are facts. So it's like even people that are outside of your city or whatever, but like definitely if people live in where you live, you guys probably have more in common because I think where people live are representative of who they are,
Right. Oh
representative
yeah.
of their lifestyle. So, you can ask them, you'll be able to find some kind of commonality with strangers pretty easily if it's like a local event, or especially, yeah, if you're going to church with them or whatever. Be like, how long have you been going here?
Yeah, like where do your kids go to school? Things like
Yeah,
that would be easy
exactly.
to and be like, "Oh, I just sold a house over there," you know? Like it's very
Exactly.
easy to kind of make that connection.
Yeah.
But yeah, to go back to your point of making a goal, absolutely. Like if I leave the table and haven't mentioned that I'm a realtor in real estate, I have failed for that night. So
Right.
for sure there's that. You can't just
Yeah.
walk in and hang out with people and go home. I guess I should put an asterisk. You got to get that out. Even
Yeah.
if it's a second meeting if you're nervous, but they've got to know, you
They
know.
have to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the whole
Facebook
point.
and market to them on Facebook that way, see what mutual friends you have,
I think
commonalities.
a lot of people like I think a lot of real estate agents like we're sold like all these shiny objects and like this will work, this will work, this will work. But really all of these things that people real estate agents buy, like one, stop it. Like stop buying crap. And then secondly, your point is exact. Like get into conversations. Like that's the only goal. It is real estate is a contact sport.
Yeah.
So connect, you
And
know?
that's the problem. We can get so holed up in that where we're just like, oh, I need to send out these mailers or I need to do this and that. And
No.
really, your best spent time is probably out talking to people. However, you're comfortable doing it, that's going
Yeah.
to be your best bang for your buck.
Well, and if you're going to send out mailers, you can't just send out a mailer and be like, okay, well, that didn't work. That's dumb. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like we just did a podcast on geographic farming actually, but it's like, if you're going to do something like that, or if you're going to join a club, like anything that you're going to do, talk, talk to the people who are successful at doing it and figure
Right.
out what your return needs to be in order to pay the fee to join that club or whatever, right? Like if it's a BNI or something like that. And
Yeah.
then yeah, and get it figured out, and then you become more purposeful about attending those meetings. But I like your idea of like only do the things that you actually like to do.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Because then it's going to feel like a
It's
chore.
way more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, like on about once or twice a month on Saturdays, I do a food tour. So I work for a company that we do a food tour like in my city.
Oh,
Man, I love that because we're like downtown and all the people from the suburbs like come in. You know
yeah.
what I mean? It's like such a natural thing. We get to eat, we get to talk about history, I talk about real estate. Like it's so fun, you know?
Yes, that natural that's and I think that's also probably a turn on for your hopefully future clients too, that
Yeah,
you didn't try to sell them, that they just happen to know a realtor
right.
that they like and respect, like you didn't give them a mailer or a billboard or whatever,
A
you're
billboard. Yeah. Exactly, exactly. Well, I like it. I think I mean, I know that it's can be a tough pill to swallow, but it is the magic pill of getting
yeah,
into conversations. And it is the hardest thing to do is to actually communicate with people verbally,
yeah. Oh
like
yeah,
it's
and
not just
and
about
show up.
texting. What's that?
And to show up.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest problems is I am definitely can put on that introvert hat. And so it's really easy for me to want to just shoot a text and cancel. It's super tempting every
Not
time.
do it.
Yeah, you got to just show up and you're going to have fun when you get there. It's
What do
just
you
that
think is important about showing up?
I just feel like it's kind of like that commitment to the gym, which is also a big crutch of mine.
Ew.
You've got to get there. The process of getting there is like the hardest part of getting to the event. You're like kind
Yeah.
of dreading, like, what if I do something stupid?
Yeah.
What if nobody talks to me?
Yeah.
Something like that. And then you get there and realize that you're common, like minded people who like at least something in common, whatever it
Yeah.
might be, reading or
Yeah.
a podcast or whatever,
Whatever.
and then you have something to talk about. Like I meet with a group of girls and guys too, but mostly girls are into this true crime podcast I love. And so we met up for happy hour last week and all we did was talk about our favorite true crime podcast. And I
It's
got
so
some great
fun.
recommendations. Like it was awesome, and it's great to be able to chat with people like that. And I sold one of them a house last year. So it definitely works. It works.
And you're having fun and you're making friends, which is really that's what being realtor is all about. That's like who we are. Like
Yeah.
we're a special breed of crazy that wants everybody to love us and we love everyone. Like and we, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's
Exactly.
awesome. That reminds me of we I went to Portugal and I was going to be there for like a month-ish, like about a
Mhm.
month, 5 weeks, something like that. And I was like I've got to make friends here. And so I found a meetup group and it was like, and I like the meetup groups, and it was like at this bar, it was like a happy hour kind of meetup group. And it was like a language exchange type thing. So I
Oh,
knew that they would speak English instead of
oh,
Portuguese.
nice.
And
Yes.
so I was like, okay, oh my God. I'm an extrovert and I was so nervous. I
Oh.
like was by the time I got there, I was like sweating. I was like, I can't do this. Like it's my first day in like a foreign country. Like I don't know what I'm doing, but like that was the time that it was. Like it wasn't going to be happening again for like another couple weeks. And I was like, I need friends like now. Like I
Yeah.
can't wait. You know what I mean? I'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
well, I did end up meeting this girl there and we're still friends and it's been over 2 years.
Yeah. See, that's awesome. I love that. And that's a good example too, those meetup groups. And every community has them somewhere hidden away, like
Yeah.
some Facebook group or something where people, especially people who need friends or new to the city or whatever,
Yeah.
want to go hang out and do X or hiking
Right.
groups or things like that. They're just like, I
Right.
need friends. I'm new here, whatever.
Yeah. Or like
So
whatever it is, take a walk, go to a movie, like whatever it is. Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome.
exactly.
Well, if people have questions for you or they have a referral in Knoxville, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Oh, easily my phone number. It's 865-712-1438. But if you want to reach me by Facebook, feel free to add me on Facebook. It's under Natalie Saunders, and there's one that has Weichert affiliated with it too. But easily is call and text would be best. But if you Google my name, you'll find me all over there. There's plenty of ways to.
Most realtors are pretty easy to find. And if you're
Oh,
not easy to find, then you need to fix that.
yeah, that's our next topic.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, I really appreciate you being on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.